All right, next up is question 6. It says solve the system. Okay, so it's pretty familiar now at this point. For first equation, x squared plus y squared is 4. That's the same circle equation that we saw in the last problem. And the second equation, y is x squared minus 4. This is quadratic in x, and this equation has the graph of a parabola. Okay, so now I'm looking for the points where the circle and the parabola intersect, and I'll go ahead and label this as equation 1 and this is equation 2. And so one approach here would be to notice that y is solved for in equation 2, so I could replace y in equation 1 with this expression x squared minus 4 that's coming from equation 2. And so this would look like the following. Equation 1 would become x squared plus the quantity x squared minus 4. So again, I'm just replacing y with this corresponding expression for y in terms of x that comes from equation 2, and that's going to equal 4. Okay, now this will work perfectly fine, but there is a bit of a downside here. One, I'm going to have to multiply this out, which isn't the end of the world. But the other thing to notice is that when I square, I'm going to get an x to the fourth. Okay, so that's a little bit more serious. Again, this will work. It's just I think harder than it needs to be. So I'm going to consider another approach, and the thing to notice here is that I have an x squared in equation 1, but I also have an x squared in equation 2. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to solve for x squared in equation 2 by just adding 4 to both sides. And so I have that y plus 4 is equal to x squared. And so now what I'm going to do is replace x squared with y plus 4 in equation 1. Okay, so here is x squared. Replace that with y plus 4 in equation 1. So let's do that down here. So equation 1 then becomes y plus 4, because that's x squared, and then I'm adding to that y squared, and that is equal to 4. All right, now this is quite a bit simpler than what we had for this first approach, right? So notice now, if I subtract 4 from both sides, the 4's drop out on both sides, which is really nice. And so this gives us y squared plus y is equal to 0. And now I have a common factor of y on the left, so factor it out. And now I can see that y equals 0 is the solution. And if y plus 1 is 0, then y is negative 1. Okay, so here are the solutions for y. So a little bit different. We're solving for y first now instead of x. But again, this is quite a bit simpler than this first approach. All right, so now to finish, let's go ahead and solve for x over here. And I can use either equation 1 or 2. I'll go ahead and use equation 2. So if y is 0, then equation 2 says that, well, 0 on the left, because y is 0, is equal to x squared minus 4 over here on the right. So let's add 4 to both sides. And so 4 is equal to x squared. And so let's take square roots and got a plus or minus there. So yeah, plus or minus 2 is equal to x. Okay, so this gives us two ordered pair solutions. So if x is positive 2, then y is 0. And if x is negative 2, y is 0. So we get two ordered pair solutions for y equals 0. And then if y is -1, I'm going to do a similar thing. Okay, again, I'll go ahead and use equation 2 again. So I have -1 now on the left, and that's equal to x squared minus 4 over on the right. So add 4 to both sides. And this gives us 3 is equal to x squared. So now taking square roots, we get plus or minus the square root of 3 is equal to x. Okay, so we have another two ordered pair solutions. If x is positive square root of 3, then y is -1. And if x is negative square root of 3, then y is, again, -1. All right, so we get these two solutions. So all together, we have 4 ordered pair solutions. And if you think about the graphs of these curves, right, circle and a parabola, yeah, that makes sense, right? A circle and a parabola can intersect in 4 points, as we see here in this picture. Okay, so our points of intersection, well, we have our -2, 0 over there, and our 2, 0 there. And then this point, -1.732, comma -1, well, this is approximately equal to negative square root of 3. And then over here I have positive 1.732, comma -1. So it works. All right, that's going to do it. Thanks so much.